Hello everyone, and welcome to Divine Debut 11. This is Kathy speaking. Thank you for joining us today, the 9th of April of 2025, for this Wednesday Twin Flame Soulmate or Karmic Connection reading. It is a love reading, and we'll be taking the Connolly Tarot today, which is one of my favorite decks. I've had it for a few years. You can see it's all worn out. Wonderful to work with. For those of you that are wanting a strong and very colorful tarot deck, I recommend it. So we're in the chat with you. Do join us there. Share your news if you're so willing to do so. Thank you so much for being here every Wednesday. To those regulars that are always here, I have promised from yesterday that we'll be doing the yes please, so you can get your own personal love message if you comment beneath the video, not in the chat section, a yes please, and you can get a personal love message. Also, I am choosing randomly from the comments for a mini reading done with the Lenormand deck, 3 cards, as I will be emailing that to you. And that will be continuing into the future randomly, as I said, and I feel that those that deserve it most will receive it most. So know that if you've been here and commenting every week, and I see you all the time, those are the ones that are going to be given the free readings first. So let's see what's going on today energetically as we're reading the energies. Remember, we're about 4 days before that, 3-4 days before that full moon in Libra, which is a Venus ruled sign. It's going to light up like a magnifying glass, the wound, as the sun through Aries is going to be on Chiron. Chiron, the asteroid of wounding, psychological, physical, emotional. We're born with Chiron in a particular area in our chart, and the sun, like a magnifying glass, will bring up that wound, right? And remember that a full moon is, moon opposite sun. So the moon in Libra this time, the sun in Aries with Chiron. So that open wound or a possible resolution for healing, which is the sun, which is also Chiron, can come up with this full moon. As we're coming up to that full moon, even from now, we could be seeing, we're forced to see what that open wound is, and hopefully we can find the way to heal it, resolve, find the way to, take off that band-aid and look beneath and see what the issue is where relationships are concerned, because Libra is the relational house. It's the natural 7th house. Now Venus, which rules this full moon, is turning direct. She's turning direct around just after this full moon. It's not by chance. Nothing happens by chance. After Venus has been, she's gone down into the underworld. She's sort of disappeared for the last 40 days, 40 nights. As she started a brand new cycle, she's gone through a rebirth. So she's gone through that, shedding those layers of anything that needs to come off. And that can mean relationships being left behind because they were not equal, they were not, balanced, they were not for us, they were not karmically for us. As remember, we had recently that new moon in Aries, which was the first new moon and a solar eclipse of the astrological new year. Now we're seeing, and that was on the 29th of March. Now, a couple of weeks later, we've got the full moon that follows a new moon. And that was the last eclipse, the solar eclipse, the new moon in Aries, which is like closing up a 2-year cycle as well, roughly 2 years. But the nodal axis has been, on the Aries Libra. So the I versus us axis of the zodiac. So Venus is turning direct. She's going to prepare to start moving forward. Remember, she's gone through a rebirth. Let's see what that new chapter, because we also had the Venus-Sun conjunction in Aries, which opens up a brand new eight years. So possibly a new story that's beginning now in the Aries part of your chart. We could say Aries Libra, but mainly Aries, where Venus connected with the Sun. Remember, Aries is cardinal fire, and the ruling planet of Aries has been retrograde, Mars retrograding through Cancer and Leo. So relative to that cardinal fire, that initiation, that new beginning, we've had to go back, look over our wounds. We've had to go within to figure things out, to be enlightened. And now as Mars has moved direct and connected well with Venus, as even though she's still in retrograde in the sign of Pisces, forgiveness, unconditional love, this is what we need to embody at this time. Forgive ourselves, forgive others, forgive ourselves for wrongdoings, for wearing those rose-colored glasses, for sacrificing without that being returned. We're all on our own personal journey, but we're reading the energies here today. So let's take the reading. We'll be looking at the sexual side of your life as well. So if you're here and you're connecting with us, energetically you are connected to this reading. It can be a timeless reading, so whenever you view this, it could be a personal message for you. Dear Spirit, what is the Karma Dharma? What is the Karma Dharma? Yep, confronting those wounds, confronting the psyche. We've got the moon here and we are coming up to that full moon in Libra. Has there been equality? Has there been equal reciprocity? Have you been doing more of the work than what, the opposite side, the other person, the person you're hoping to manifest in your life, have they been reciprocating? We will see a lot of wounds coming up to be healed, as I said, as the sun will be magnifying that wound and a possible healing resolution. So there will be opportunities. This full moon will be happening on a very positive asteroid. We'll be talking about that on Patreon. So if you're not on Patreon, do consider joining us. And obviously the moon does rule Cancer, Pisces. We could mention Scorpio as well as Lilith. Lilith, which is all about injustices, punishment, through Scorpio, which can speak to vindication, jealousy, all those lower vibrational hurt feelings which can be very poisonous. It's a time to release that. It's a time to find the healing where there's been control, where there's been poison, fears. Remember the psychological side of things. Water speaks to deep intuition, but also deep emotions. When they haven't been returned, they can turn a little bit nasty. So maybe this is a time to see, what's coming up from our psyche. Remember, full moons are all about, we're retaining fluid. We're being much more overstressed and over emotional. So we'll be seeing that we may be projecting our hurt, our emotions, our distraught emotions onto others, and that's not a healthy emotion, but maybe, challenging aspects. They do tend to bring up the wounds and therefore to air them, because there's been a lot of repression, oppression relative to Mars. Mars is retrograde and transit through Cancer especially, even though he's also he's retrograded through the early degrees of Leo as well. So he's been affecting very much so the cardinal signs, Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, Aries, as well as the fixed signs, Leo, Aquarius, Taurus and Scorpio, born in the first decan. Let's see what's going on. Thank you for your guidance, dear Spirit. Calling on our archangels for guidance. What is going on in the love arena? What's going on with relationships in general? Remember, Libra is all relationships, friendships, family, spouse, co-workers. All relationships have been going through testing times. Let me get Gaia. Yes, Gaia. Come in, baby. She's at the door saying, are you going to let me in or not, Mum? So, I've left the door open. Wow. Okay. To me, what this says, Four of Cups and the Star, we've got Aquarius energy, and through Aquarius is Pluto. Pluto is transiting Aquarius. This is also social media. It is a card of hope. Maybe there is opportunities, because the Four of Cups is where I am emotionally. I'm very unhappy. Could be in a long-standing relationship, of course, because fours always speak to the home, to our personal life. Matters to do with the past could be coming up as well. That's what Mars in Cancer is. He's bringing up themes from the past. So maybe this was a missed opportunity, possibly because of physical distance. You know, the Star is a timely physical distance where there could be a wish fulfillment, but this can also bring up truths, lots of truths, because that's what Aquarius is. Aquarius can speak to friendship, can speak to, welcome Gaia. Hello, baby Gaia. How are you, beautiful? You want to say hello to all our friends? Mummy, I'm going to sit right by your side because that's where I feel comfortable and serene. So, remember the Ace of Cups, the Holy Grail, is coming from an angel. So, miracles can happen at this time as Venus is going to turn direct. Remember, she's exalted in Venus, in Pisces. She is exalted. And we've been dealing with a lot of karma because Pisces is the 12th house, which could speak to surrender, release, and releasing that, you know, feeling the martyr, feeling the one left out, feeling like the love has not been returned, that the wounding or the pain or the solitude has been so heavy that possibly Spirit is telling you maybe release, surrender, and see what Spirit brings you. That's what I feel this is talking about. Let's continue. Remember, Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, so there's a lot of closures, big chapters in our lives that are going through an ending, as Neptune has also left Pisces, its rulership. He hasn't been in this position in the beginning of Aries for 165 years. So it is a big deal. We are living through history. History is in the making. We'll see what that will bring us because none of us have experienced that before. What is going on, dear Spirit? Thank you for your guidance. And as I said, thank you for leaving your comments below with a yes please for a personal love message, for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. Make sure you're notified, make sure that you're subscribed, maybe unsubscribe and subscribe again, press that notification bell, and then you'll be certain that you'll be receiving the notifications of our uploads. Many of you say, I haven't received anything, I've lost you, I've been looking for you. Some people forget the name, you know, subscribers forget the name, they're not notified as the algorithm is not working. So whatever, come what may, I say, let's see what's going on, and thank you for your guidance, Spirit. We're doing the divine spread, just for your information. So coming from the past, what's going on? Two of Wands. There could be physical distance, as we see that the wand is coming from the other side of the world, you know, traveling over water. These are the Two of Wands. You see that the messages, communication has been possibly through social media. And because we see the birds are messengers, and the messages are coming from across the seas. He's also holding the world ball. He's holding what he desires. So maybe the message comes from across the seas, has been in the past, coming from across the seas relative to the other person's desires. Obviously, physical distance for the Two of Wands does speak to a lot of desire and passion. It's like a portal for a new opening. So this has opened up, whatever this is, has opened up from the deep past. But Two of Wands is also, remember, the traveler. Could be someone who travels a lot. I get strong Sagittarian energy here. Yeah, some of you could be dealing with someone that is also, that comes from a different religion, or they just hold different beliefs. They grew up in a different way to what you did. Two of Wands can also speak to a choice, needing to choose. Let's see what is hidden. The Ace of Pentacles, very promising indeed. This is what we don't know, that there could be an offer or an opportunity for a long-term relationship. Remember that in the traditional Ace of Pentacles, there is a door, there is a portal, which is a passage. It could be the new passage of Venus as she's gone through a rebirth. The Ace of Pentacles, remember, Earth is very slow, but it's also very, very practical, very much about reality. It's not something that is airy-fairy, that's up in the air, that's imagined. It's something that is physical and tangible. So this is what we don't know. You may also be dealing with someone that is very slow to make this offer. Earth sign. Recent past. The Sun. So Leo comes through. It's a major arcana, very important indeed. The Sun brings clarity, brings healing. Remember that Venus and the Sun did conjoin in Aries, which the Sun is exalted in Aries. Very promising for new beginnings. But I don't feel that those new beginnings have materialized or have been shown. They may have materialized. So there are things going on relative to the Pisces part of the chart where, yes, we've stepped into the Aries season, but Pisces is about completion, rounding something up, releasing, letting go, having worked on particular karmic situations. Pisces can also speak to secret love affairs where there are relationships that are kept secret for a particular reason. When someone is not ready to bring the connection out into the open, share it with others. The Sun speaks to clarity, speaks to healing, speaks to confidence, but also matters pertaining to heart. Remember, this is Leo energy. The Sun can also speak to the inner child, but also relative to children. And as I said, the Sun is going to bring the light as to how to, take off that band-aid, off that open wound that we've been born with. Find a resolution. Because Chiron was a centaur in mythology. He was born half man, half horse. And he was very different to the usual centaurs, where he was a master a master in astrology. He was a teacher. He was a master in the martial arts. He mastered in many, many sciences. Very intelligent. He was actually raised by Apollo, and Apollo is the sun. So there's that side to Chiron where we may have felt like we don't fit in, where the weird one that sticks out in the crowd. So we don't fit in to a particular love interests environment. because of social reasons, because of many factors could come in. So a song comes to my head which says, don't deem that who I've chosen is not good enough. They are the one for me. So that's what's coming through with this reading here. So misfit relationships that wouldn't normally match is what we're seeing now. So many times, when the emotional connection is so strong, the differences can be overcome. Sometimes they cannot. And that could be, many times, could be a twin flame. Yes. So these are very testing times relative to relationships. So we're going to see, remember, timing could be quite off where we say this is the recent past position. We're not all on the same timeline, so timing is very different for each of us. So we see the sun, which can bring a reconciliation as well. Maybe someone is hoping for that. Maybe that will be brought to our enlightenment moving forward. Or because the sun is our heart, maybe we need to love thyself, which is the Aries energy as well. Therefore, if we haven't been loved enough, the love has not been reciprocated, which is Libra, justice, fairness, they are relationships that we will be releasing. Let's see what's going on in the now. So whenever you get this message, 9 of Wands, we do see an open door. Usually in the traditional 9 of Wands, we see a wall that is up. But what we see here is that a portal, a passage is opening. And we're at the end of the heaviness, the hardships. 9s are heavy burdens. They're also completion. Okay? What is crowning our divine spread? 8 of Wands. It's like taking a step back. From the 9, we go back to the 8. Here are the messages falling from the sky, just out of the blue. Very unexpected indeed. So we see this person in a place away from the world, like someone having gone within. The retrograde season that we've passed, that we've been through recently, has been very much about quiet time, meditation, solitude, internalizing, seeking the inner light. So the 8 of Wands are love messages. These could be messages that are coming very suddenly because we see a fair bit of fire here. Most of the reading so far is about fire. Fire's inspiration, desire, passion. As Mars is now moving direct on the 18th, so a few days after the full moon, Mars is going to enter Leo, where he will be much happier in a fire sign. He will help the Leo part of our sign, Leo part of our chart, which is, Leo is the heart. He will help bring in more fire, and therefore the fire means creation, inspiration, action. Even though Leo is a fixed sign, to me, this time we've been seeing the glass half empty. I feel that there is a possibility that we may be seeing the glass half full. And things are, where they were not budging, where there was no movement, things are going to start to move greatly, as all the planets will be direct once Venus turns direct. So it will be all systems go. What is the action and advice? The Hermit. Someone's seen the light. Someone has seen the inner light, the outer light, the wisdom from someone else, a teacher, an astrologer, a tarot reader, an elderly, someone who holds the wisdom. The Hermit is also remember, I've gone into my cave. And this can say, because we also see the flame here, which is very similar to the Wands, which does speak to the fire, and we see the fire comes here, and we see lots of cycles here. Lots of cycles. Even the moon here which is a cycle, right? Like the ebbs and flows of the moon. This is how our chest will be going, in and out. I mean, right now we're quite stressed out. We're quite stressed out as we're coming up to that full moon. It's like, what will that final curtain bring us? What will be the completion? Because this full moon is the first full moon on the axis Aries Libra for the past couple of years. That's not an eclipse. Let's see, because someone has seen the light, or there will be the sharing of the wisdom here, which means information, of course. Remember, Virgo is all about discernment, perfectionism, service. Virgo does hold that maternal side. And I also wanted to mention Spica, which is the asteroid on this full moon, which is very connected to the Virgo archetype, because Spica means, in Greek, it's translated as wheat. And we know the archetype of Virgo, the symbol of Virgo, holds wheat, and that's the Empress energy for me. It's very motherly. So someone has seen the light here. Remember, it's a 9. We've got another 9 here, which means that there is a culmination of a cycle. Someone's seen the light, and there is possibility for manifestation. Through acts of service, of course, which is Virgo, through someone who is ethical, wants to do the right thing, stands by their values. They're very much about morality and doing the right thing. Let's see what the possible outcome is. We've got the 3 of Wands. So we had 2 of Wands. We've got the 3 of Wands. So we're on a good trajectory, as we see. Look at this. I mean, the news was coming from afar, from a distance. Whether it was a physical or an emotional distance, it will be different. Here we see that the distances are closed up, that someone gets into that boat, gets into that car, gets into the action of, let's meet up, let's talk about this. 2 of Wands, 3 of Wands, it's where we see the ships coming in, where there is hope. Remember, we had the 4 of Cups, and we had the Star card, which could speak to the future. Remember, that's Aquarius. And as Mars is going to enter Leo, we'll be in opposition to Aquarius. So through that those warlike energies, maybe we'll get some things coming through, some truths that were buried deep within the psyche. Pluto in Aquarius, which will be opposed by Mars through Leo. So let's see what the divine suggests here, the divine source, help or hindrance. So as the planetary alignments change energetically, so do our lives down here. Let's see what the advice is. Here is the Mother, Queen of Pentacles, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, Minor Arcana of the Empress. She knows what she wants. And she's also someone that sustains that security for others. So energetically, I would say that because she's very much about giving, advising, she holds a very important position. It's not by chance that the Empress sits on the throne. She stood out. Now, not all of you have got, strong earth in your chart. It may be the energy that is coming through. So I feel here it's like Spirit is saying what she was desiring is possibly in the making, but she has no idea about that. Let's see. More earth. So things are up in the air. It's like she's halfway there. Remember what we said about the 4 of Wands. The 4 of Cups that fell out before. Things pertaining to our home life, our personal life, matters to do with the past, who we live with, how our finances are, everything plays a role. Everything is interconnected, right? Because we see the miser card here, Four of Pentacles, but this is, I don't know what to do, or, I've been protecting my heart, I've been holding back. I've been very patient, Queen of Pentacles, very patient, very dependable, very intelligent, very businesslike as well, but also the most experienced queen in the deck. So she's a mother to others. She's got that motherly aura about her. And she's the go-to person. But she's got her own, I see that she's got her own dilemmas here. She's sort of halfway to securing something. Fours do speak to security. And things are up in the air, it looks like. So there may be a return to a past decision. So you may be facing, because I feel that because most of you here are women, most of you do hold that yin energy. Remember, earth is yin energy. It's recessive. It's about being patient, waiting. So she's got a dilemma whether to wait or whether to act. Remember that Aries is about action. Now that's either you or it's another earth sign that could have that dilemma. You could be the Queen of Pentacles, and because we don't see a masculine figure here, or someone who holds that yang energy, it could be them, that they are, returning back to an old decision, and they're halfway there. So things are up in the air with those Two of Pentacles up in the air, or someone's been very, very busy trying to secure something more stable, a more stable relationship. Fours can speak to the home where we reside. Remember that Mars retrograde in Cancer. And, because home is where the heart is, home is not the building that we live in. So when we're not, Mars was retrograding there in Cancer, when we're not feeling safe, secure, emotionally happy, and nurtured, which is Cancer, then we get uncomfortable. We need to take action. Because Mars has been retrograding, it was all about the inability to take action, to move forward, to express. But the emotions were repressed and withheld. Now there's a brand new 8-year cycle opening up. Remember, Aries is I, me, my. It's thyself. I need to be happy. Myself. Wow. Knight of Cups. Even though it looks like the Knight of Wands. So let's throw in the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Cups. So we've got Scorpio, Sagittarius. For many of you, doesn't have to be. Nevertheless, we've got water and, well, because the Knight of Wands is very much the player, I do get a double message here. This is like someone that was a little bit not as mature as their feminine side in this love connection. Knight of Cups is Scorpio, but could be any water sign, could be any sign at all, even Earth, because we do see the Knight of Cups coming in and bringing an offer. Remember that the Knight of Cups wears a suit of armor, so very protective of their heart, maybe second chances, second thoughts, a possible return. But they're not the King of Cups, remember, they're not the King of Wands. We see a Knight of Cups, which does hold some open wounds, needing to face, confront those wounds. And the confront could be also a confrontation where someone is trying to hold down, suppress the emotions through these challenging aspects, warlike fight, argumentative sort of energies. The truth may be revealed. Someone, this is like facing the music. I need to get through this passage. I need to heal my soul, my psyche, and release what's deep within my psyche, because There's a feeling of injustices. Remember, Lilith was penalized because she asked for equality. She was banished from the Garden of Eden because she demanded equality. So there's that raw sexual wounding of the feminine, or whoever holds the yin energy. And remember, even guys, water signs, earth signs. If you've got a natal chart that's heavily created with a lot of water and a lot of earth, then there's more that recessive yin energy. Let's see what's at the foundation. And we've got the Eight of Pentacles, another Virgo card. So relative to work, we do see someone that works a lot, probably services others. They are stopping and thinking. He's like thinking into the past. He's looking into the distance, but it's like his mind is rolling back to the past. Possibly also thinking whether they're willing, whether this could be you, this could be your person, whether they're willing to continue working on this connection or bailing on this connection. The Wheel of Fate comes through, and we see the Hermit, which is the 9. There is the 10. The Wheel of Fate is bringing changes, possibly also because this is your Jupiterian energy. It's divine timing. Jupiter speaks to truth, justice, having that bigger picture. Foreigners, divine timing is bringing an ending. It is a 10, where someone maybe has seen the bigger picture, has seen a few truths coming through the illusion. We've been living through great illusions and a lot of deceiving energies where we really didn't know what's truth and what's not. So Jupiter brings truth, brings awareness, and there's a lot of thought relative to the general energies here on what do I do? Because remember, the Eight of Pentacles is before the 9. The 9 is the individual. The 9 is the single person that I can stand on my own. I'm good enough to be in the Garden of Eden on my own, but I would prefer, because I want to feel, I work a lot. I work a lot because I need that security. Earth signs come up very strongly with that. But the next step would be the 9 of Pentacles, where, I've reached that pinnacle of success. What I'm missing is this. And Queen of Pentacles also holds that pentacle. Beneath that is the Knight of Swords. Look at all those clouds up there, those dark clouds. They're about worry. They're about illusion. But Knight of Swords usually does bring clarity, usually very frustrated and very quickly. Now, if this were to be in the reverse, because he's trying to cut through the chase, cut through the illusion, and there can be a lot of withheld anxiety, anger, the inability to communicate, or the anger, the repressed emotions which can turn into anger, and therefore even ego. Okay, because, we've got the Knight of Swords. This could be Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. And we've got a King of Wands here. King of Wands. Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. Entrepreneur, boss, business-orientated. Someone who could be seeing things. We've got a lot of, air and fire. This could be these are the energies we're coming into slowly. But this can also speak to repressed anger because of a lack of the release of desire, passion, truthful communication, so on and so forth. Now, we could have a King of Wands who could also be a Scorpio that's going through any legal challenges, divorce, life, changes here. Even Jupiter can speak to anything legal. Three of Swords, so there have been third parties, possibly, or a heartbreak in the past. Anyway, let's take other cards and see what's going on. Let's take some Lenormand. Let's take some Lenormand. We'll take some Romance Angels, some Mystic Moon Oracles. We've got the dog, the garden, and the lily. To me, this says that happiness will come as long as there's loyalty, there's, staying on course. There is, partly there is a feeling of friendship as well. But remember, the dog to me says that I've been dead set on, I'm sticking to my guns, and this is what I want to manifest, which means happiness, which means, getting into the Garden of Eden. This is a card of happiness, right? We're in the garden, which could be which could bring a sense of happiness and connection. Remember that this could also speak to someone's social standing, their reputation. But it can also speak to the forbidden fruit. Now, the lily is like a divine union for me. It's like a blessed union. The lily can speak to a very strong sexual connection, a spiritually inclined connection, but also someone that wants to do things in the right way, in the moral way. What's at the foundation? We've got the house. And the house could speak to a relationship, or it could speak to someone who is in another family. Yeah, we've got the fox here, and the fox can speak to sneakiness, or someone that's going to be very patient. We see the dog, very loyal, even though there hasn't been 100% trust between you and your person, because we see the fox, someone's trying to be smart, trying to get away with some things, trying to be very, they use various tactics. And we've got the ship, which means transition and changes. This could also be possibly for some, because there's a transition, and this could be in secret, transition, a possible travel where there's a secret meeting in a home. Doesn't have to be, wouldn't be a hotel or something. It would be someone's home that's in amongst gardens. We see a lot of greenery here, and we see the garden here. Possibly a home that also has a fountain. And we see Venus here having gone through her birth, or her rebirth, let's say. Let's see what's going on in the sexual department relative to this relationship. I'm going to take 3 cards, past, present, and future. Past, present, and future. So in the past, the 3 of Swords, no intimacy. No intimacy at all. 3 of Swords, because there are third parties here, probably. In the now 7 of Swords, we see the coldness there back to back. 7 of Swords says that obviously someone has been sneaky, hasn't been on the up and up. So there is no intimate connection here at all. And we see repressed emotions, we see regrets as well here. An emotional disconnect brings a disconnect in the bedroom. Let's look at the future. And we've got the 4 of Swords, so it's going to take a little while yet. 4 of Swords. For some, this can mean that this will be the beginning, yes. But for most, it's a waiting game. It's all air, so it's all about communication and a lack thereof. Good communication. Because we've got the Three of Swords, someone needs to heal. We go to the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords, because we see the person that's lying down on a tombstone, but it could be on a bed as well. So this is what someone wants. This is what someone has been waiting on, or there needs to be some healing before that can actually happen. And I feel here that if this is a relationship that you're healing and keeping, I feel like the make or break is the morality of the connection. The morality and the doing the right thing. Because these themes relative to the fox and relative to the Seven of Swords have come up for me. And the morality would, for me, say that there are third parties. This was a difficult decision. Right? Let's look at the romance angels. I get very strong, even though we've got air here, which is a masculine energy. We are moving into the masculine energy because of Aries, which is a masculine sign. But I feel that the feminine, the yin energy, the nurturing, loving energy has been missing. You know, that's what leads up to the fire, the excitement. I would say. Don't get me wrong, the fire's going to be turned up very soon. You know, we do see here that masculine trying to force the feminine into something that she doesn't want to act on. So force and control is not in the cards, because those relationships will be going out. They'll be thrown in the trash. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. My Archangel Michael is here. And honeymoon. Wow, everyone. In yesterday's messenger reading, I don't know if you viewed it, go back to the last upload, we had as an outcome, we had the six of Swords, which is it shows transition, it shows movement. And we've got a boat here, La Gondola here. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So this is what's on the cards, as long as there is effort, and the effort would be more the masculine energy. Okay, maybe we've been recessive. It's time to get out there. It's time to take action instead of just waiting and letting life pass us by. That could also be another decision relative to this Queen of Pentacles. I think they need to meet halfway, and when there's no halfway meeting, that's the end. It could be a last moment, a last chance for some. Engagement. Your love life is ascending to a high level of commitment. This is, of course, not everyone is going to get engaged, but some people are going to be engaging in their truth, emotionally, speaking their truth. We've seen the light. Here come the messages. They come from the sky when you least expect them. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. So if you had doubts about that, then don't. Remember, this is a general reading. It will not work for everyone. If you're after a personal reading, we do offer the Twin Flame Soulmate readings on our website. We've got a 75-minute one and a 90-minute one. They do go very deep. You can find the link beneath this video. Divine Debut 11.net is our website. Now, if you're a patron, of course, you get a discount. Don't forget. Patrons get discounts on personal readings, on all our services. Let's see what's going on in the emotional arena. because it's looking pretty good, and I feel that this will be the opposition, Mars, Pluto. This will be the opposition. Something's got to give, people. Cycles, but there's a surprise on this Saturnian cycle. You've done many cycles before. You've been dealing with a lot of karma. The signs show us the way. This could be telepathy as well, where you're, telepathically connected to your person. The signs are telling you that you're going somewhere, moving towards the future. We're not finishing up with the past. Remember that Saturn can also be the past. Oh my God, everyone. How many times do the cards need to tell us that it's on, baby? It's on. Yes, it is. The answer is yes. Fire is creation, inspiration, passion, and action. Proactive, being proactive. Reinvention. It's a time to reinvent. Are you going to take part in the reinvention of your connection? Or are you just going to let things slump and die? And this is worth fighting for. This is worth putting in the effort, my friends. Okay, let's take a mini deck and let's get more information here. This is the Golden Art Nouveau. Beautiful deck. Especially the bigger deck. It's got gold trimmings. It's not the outside of the deck, but it's got gold on it, on the illustrations. It's gorgeous. Let's see. Why do we have the Two of Wands at the foundation? Why is the Two of Wands at the foundation? Obviously, it's talking about choices, physical or emotional distance, but someone also ready to spread their wings and fly. This could mean a change of home, change of country as well, relative to love. We've got the Six of Wands. We've got the Ace of Wands. So much fire, so much desire. Maybe in the past also feeling very successful relative to a distant connection. Even though there was physical distance, there was so much fire, so much sexual pent-up energy that was released in the past. Now it's pent up, I should say. Now it's suppressed. Because, the Ace of Wands does speak very truly to sexual intimacy. So feeling very successful, feeling that you've been valued, recognized, a lot of pride relative to this connection. Why do we have the Ace of Wands in the hidden? What's that about? We've got the Fool card. New beginning. We've got the Three of Pentacles, which is the first initial success point. And we've got a Knight of Wands. Remember how we spoke about this knight, saying that they could be the Knight of Wands, which we see here. So it is, this Ace of Pentacles is coming from a distance. Possibly someone that's now ready to settle down if they were not ready to take that next serious step. That's why there's like an in-between here, between the emotions and the fire, the emotional and the sexual. And remember, the Hermit is very close to this position, which says obviously, possibly both of you went into your cave. There was solitude, there was a lack of connection, either one or the other or both of you. Because we've had a couple of full moons in Virgo and they've been eclipses, right? No, I wasn't ready to take that. And I was just thinking, the full moons have been happening on the axis Virgo Pisces. Obviously, they're opposite each other, but it is very significant. The eclipses, full moons do speak to endings, closing up of cycles. Let's look at the sun. Lots of worry relative to truth, someone not being able to sleep. We see the Queen of Pentacles not sleeping. Too many thoughts. Yes, Nine of Swords is someone who doesn't stop. Their mind goes round and round. Queen of Pentacles, yes, could be a Virgo. Virgo is very much about the logic, the mind. She's probably thinking, but the communication does not reflect what's going on in the heart, because remember, she is very intuitive. Yeah, I'm going to say she knows what's in her heart. She may also be having doubts about the other. Let's see. Just get that door. Let's look at the now. Two of Wands. It's like returning back to a past time. We see the Queen of Wands. A lot of fire. And we see the Death card. Oh, wow. What I'm thinking here, some of you may not be aware. I mean, if you're the third party, or if you're dealing with someone that is in another connection, because we see here this is like an ending, a heavy ending, and we see here, we see the Two of Wands twice. In the distant past, he held what he desired, and the other wand was coming from the other side. So where this person was, this is where they wanted to be, even though there was connection with a distance. The energies have changed now here with this Two of Wands. We see the traveler here holding the wand that comes from across the seas. Do you see that? Very interesting indeed. Which to me says that possibly someone's most important desires and their wishes, let's say, have changed from the distant past to the now. This could be a partnership that's coming to an end, if this is relative to your person, okay? And remember, we see here in the hidden position, we see the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is someone that's free-spirited, someone that is taking action. They're on a new trajectory, on a new life cycle, because they're following the IMEI, the Aries energy here. And because the Fool is also Uranus, it's like they will do something, or they've had some enlightenment as to what needs to happen. Now, what they want, what they really, really want. We see Scorpio, we see the Death card. So in the now, there's a huge change. Some of you may also be, if this is not a past partner, some of you may be on the cusp. Virgo, Leo, I know there are a few of you out there. Let's see what comes through after that Death card with the Eight of Wands. What is that? Unbelievable, friends. Eight of Wands. Yes. Judgment, crisis, second chances, resurrection. Why do we have the Hermit here? What is the advice? That there is a new journey, that there will be enthusiasm, a messenger that comes in. Someone's willing to take that journey. There's excitement here. And remember, this is like Aries energy. There's no holding back here. Six of Pentacles. Reciprocity. This is Aries, this is Libra. Remember, with that relationships that have not been nurtured, obviously are leaving us. Relationships that have run their course are going to be leaving us. This is like an imbalance of someone giving more to one than the other. But the light has been seen now. This could also possibly speak to someone talking to, it could be a marriage counselor, it could be a doctor. This could also be a child that's going through psychological issues relative to a breakup of the parents, of the family as well. But this is a very karmic card for me, which is saying it's karma dharma. The energy you've put in, the work you've done, which is very Saturnian, those rewards come in now, or that karma comes in now, where it's time that those who have not done the right thing, those who have not done the work, it's time for them to pay their dues. So you know which side of the fence you're on. I know which side of the fence I'm on. The outcome. Page of Swords, Gemini, communication, truths, King of Wands, which we saw also in the tarot. Fire sign, could be a Scorpio, could have strong Gemini as well. Gemini is the twins, remember. Don't know what to do. Difficulty in making my mind up. And we've got the Tower. So there's an aha moment happening here. Truths that will be revealed. And someone is given the higher ground. Someone is called to take action here. Remember that we did see the King of Wands. He was further towards the past. So for some of you, there is a possibility that this could be a past partnership of yours as well. That's coming down because of the Tower that you're leaving behind suddenly, because you're tired of them being in denial, you needing to fight, you need to hold up the relationship, whatever that is. So this could be another side to you in another relationship. But here we've got Queen of Pentacles and a water sign, which water or fire, let's say, someone that's a little bit not as mature, maybe age-wise or maybe even emotionally wise. Let's see what that is, what is in the divine position. Queen of Pentacles, King of Cups, we've got the Knight of Cups and the King of Cups. Ace of Cups, my friends, and let's take one more, just for the heck of it. Four of Pentacles, to me this is what you've waited on, where the patience was, where the suffering was, and the effort, the hard work. This is the payoff, because we see the Four of Pentacles here again. Remember, this is, I'm insistent on holding on, even though I've been left out in the cold. I have not been acknowledged. I have not been offered the love, the position that I deserve. This is like holding someone in one's heart, protecting them. And remember, Four of Pentacles, the miser, there's been no love. You've been without love. It's time now to receive the love, because the Knight of Cups turns into the King of Cups. There's the offer. There's the Ace of Cups, which we also saw in the Four of Cups that fell out in the beginning. Oh my God, everyone. Oh my God, people. I feel like crying. This is an engagement. This is let's move in together. This is let's have a family. Let's bring our families together. Let's walk through that portal. Let's take that next step in this chapter of our life, because we've been through many, many possibly lifetimes where we needed to do more work, more karma. But the signs are telling us now the answer is yes, because, and I get the goosebumps as I say that, because it's not only fire and air, this is reality. This is the gift here. This is moving in together. This is engagement. This is leveling up. This is a leg up where love is concerned. There is the star which was promised from the beginning of the reading. There's the magician, Mercury now direct. Absolutely beautiful. It's like the stars align, surely, for this gift. Unbelievable reading today, my friends. I hope that you enjoyed it. I keep getting the goosebumps from head to toe. It's just all the time. And look at what's behind the reinvention. There's the big dream. There's the vision. After going through the dark night of the soul, after having doors that were closed, after feeling abandoned, after the negativity, the no, because of family, because of others. Look at the line of happenings here, that this vision, possibly thinking it was an illusion. We've got Neptune, Jupiter here. This is the actuality of a dream, because Spirit wants that for you. And here we've got Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter and Saturn, which they will be in square again. They've been in a battle. You know, Jupiter wants to expand, Saturn wants to retract. They've been in a battle ever since they conjoined at the end of 2020. Now they're in their square, and then they're in their third and last square as a new life cycle opens up. Obviously has begun from end of 2020. And they will be connecting in June for the third and last time. So that will be interesting in June, as Jupiter will also step into Cancer, and he will be way stronger then, in a stronger position than what Saturn will be in Aries. But remember also, because this is divine timing, this is the wheel of fate. It brings those stuck, it's going to, change things up. The stuck energies, because this is Saturnian. And in this cycle, as I said, there is a gift, and the gift is reinvention. Whether you're reinventing your life and loving thyself, because this may not be your reading. For many, I do see that there are opportunities, yes. Thinking back to ever since September, it's like, we were going into the underworld, slowly but surely. And in the past 40 days, Venus has been, she hasn't been active at all. She's been internalized, not, seen in our lives, because she's more about going, taking us inwards so that we could see that inner light relative to who we love, how we love, what we love, what's most important for us. But there's reinvention here. So this could be, for some, yes, it could be a return of someone from the past. And remember, even though she turns direct, right? Straight after the full moon, she still needs to pass over those degrees that she was retrograding through. So she will turn direct in Pisces and then go all the way up until that 10th degree, 9th, 10th degree of Aries. So she's still got a while yet that we will be coming into the resolve, the resolutions that this full moon will bring us. Right? So it'll be interesting to see, because this full moon is a Venus full moon. Let's take some love messages, some love thoughts. Now, if you've received any of these messages personally, maybe there's something in this reading for you. Remember to leave your yes please, and you can give me a little bit of time and I'll get back to you on your personal love messages from your person. Hopefully they're your person's and not your own thoughts. That can happen too, where we can cross our wires. But also, as I said, randomly I am choosing, whoever comments, I am choosing here and there people that I will be giving mini readings to with the Lenormand deck. I want you in my life for today, tomorrow, and forever. I need time to process, to think. Please be patient with me. Our families will never accept this relationship. Open your heart and talk truthfully to me. Talk to me. I regret the moment that I let you go. Maybe that's the truth. That they're going to communicate. Are you the one? I knew you would break my heart. I really want to work on us. You're worth it. You are my other half. I want to give you everything in life to make you happy. I've made space for you in my life. We see a lot of earth here. Earth is very strong. You stole my heart and my happiness. We're done. It hurts too much. I can't do this anymore. I'm now awakened. Now I see clearly you are the one for me. Someone obviously seeing things through their third eye here, through their intuition. I can't help myself from falling in love with you every day. And I feel you when you're happy or sad. I'm the one for you. Please, God, choose me. They have chosen you. They have chosen you. I hope that a lot of you out there are the lucky ones, that are the chosen ones. And if you're not, then it wasn't meant to be. And if you're not the chosen one, then there's someone else out there that does choose you. So never give up on love. If we give up on love, it's like giving up on life. Don't do that. And self-love is of the utmost importance right now, so that we can make it through these hard times. We'll leave it there. Thank you for your love, your support, your donations, for joining us in the chat section, for leaving your comments, for joining us on Patreon. A special thank you to our patrons. After you left me, my world stopped. Please come back. Much love to all of you, my friends. Thank you kindly. I will be back with you, and I will also be in touch with those that will be getting the mini readings. So I'm looking forward to giving those to you, and I'm very excited for all of you. Most of you here are quite close to me. You're regulars, you're loyal, you're on Patreon. So it's a small community, but it's a very important community for me, where one person upholds the other, energetically even. Love and light, my friends. Talk to you soon.